Remember using a 10 mbs NETGEAR 5-port hub for sniffing traffic in your home IT lab? Or having to find an old 12 or 24-port Cisco switch, or worse still shell out for a bottom-of-the-range full-price network switch to get port mirroring when all your old hubs died? Just so you could wire Sharky lab routers and servers to a laptop or your main PC? Well, not anymore. For a whole £27 you can have port mirroring with firmware 1.6.0.4. You get web configurable switch to boot. Sure, it's only got 5 ports, no HTTPS for admin, but it's got rate limiting, VLANs, and port mirroring, all for £27. Amazon also delivered the same day. What's not to like for £27? When it's done on it lab duty, it'll do darn need a couple more ports on the broadband router duty for a few years too. This is a basic yet feature-packed switch that gives the user more advanced control over their network traffic, with basic features like GOS, loop prevention and port mirroring. This is a great device for a complete novice or someone who's not confident when it comes to adjusting their network without the help of someone who's got more experience. Simply plug in your Ethernet cables and it will manage any network traffic without any further setup process. If you want more it lacks the features of more expensive network switches but does enough to warrant the investment. A small little thing to keep in mind that people may forget: although it's a 5-port switch, you can only attach 4 devices. One port I needed to receive the internet connection. It's a great 8-port switch. For a managed switch, it's cheap and well made. I've bought a few of these in 5-port and 8-port versions to do VLAN separation and trunking between rooms, and they just work great. Once you have found out how to program them, it's reliable and simple, just takes a bit of effort. If you just want an unmanaged switch, buy the unmanaged one, which is cheaper and just as good if you don't need the managed functions. Great switch, just not easy to program the VLANs. I currently have an Ethernet socket set up in my lounge behind the TV. This is wired directly from the router. I required multiple Ethernet sockets behind the TV as I was having some issues with the Wi-Fi connection on my TV and Skybox. We found that downloading and streaming content was taking a while or constantly buffering. I set this up. My TV, Xbox and Skybox is now hardwired. I have no issues with the connection at all. Not had to restart or disconnect to date, and has now been set up for around a month. Really easy to set up, just plug and play. Would recommend that you have decent cables to go with the box. I've recently bought a NETGEAR GS305E and a GS308E to replace 2 aging switches in my LAN, which I'm upgrading for better speed and reliability. Click link in description for more reviews.